homecoming, COVID style, which means what? It's basically just homecoming. However, the Lawrence Central Bears are coming in to take on the #1 Center Grove Trojans, and tonight, Coach, Ray Skillman Stadium won't be the normal, but it still should be exciting. Your thoughts about the homecoming game?
Well, it's normal for us because it's playing football on Friday night in Ray Skillman Stadium. We'd love to have more people, but that's part of the rule, so we'll deal with it. Our focus is on the Lawrence Central Bearcats and trying to beat them and go to 6-0 and have a wonderful night and have a lot of great football.
You look at this game coming in, Lawrence Central doesn't have a W in the win column. However, your philosophy ever since you arrived is always the next game's the biggest game, and your opponents have no face, and you focus on what you do well. How have you attacked that this week in practice?
Well, you got to be aware of their great skill kids. They have good size on the lines. They have great speed in the secondary and great speed at the skill positions. Their quarterback runs the football very well. Honestly, they just haven't had a lot of luck this year. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and they've just had some fortunate errors and bad luck, and it's put them in bad situations. We're hoping that the Trojan defense can flip the fields with some special teams and some good hard defense, and then our offense get the ball, rolling downhill and making it happen. We got to come out like we have the last 5 weeks, committed to play football, committed to run the football and throw the football, but committed to block and tackle and make plays on defense.
We're over halfway through the season. Has there been any surprises in your mind going into it? Obviously, we're dealing with COVID, but is there a player or a side of the ball that surprised you more than you thought you would see?
Well, the biggest surprise has been the weather. Since we usually ask me a question about the weather, we haven't had any rain the whole month of September. This is the hottest and driest it's ever been, but that's part of the life, and we're ready for the rains to hit and the all-weather offense to take over. Probably the biggest surprises, I think, have been some of the kids that we've moved around to like Shane Bennett to play on the defensive line when we need him. I think Lucas Hoffman coming over to offense and helping us there. Carson Stills coming back after a bad injury and really reclaiming the spot. I think our quarterback, Taven Jackson's been wonderful, doing great things in games. I think Trent Veith has always been there and has done a good job. Our tight end, Garrett Keith, is much improved. Our linebackers as a whole, a starting linebacker crew in Schott and Holt and Clark have been absolutely fabulous. And they don't look good on paper for size and heights and weights, but, man, they're playing the football. Our secondary has come up with some turnovers with Dane Young and Sardahl both getting interceptions, and Mitchell Evans has been a big improvement in the secondary with Braden Spetter. So it's been fun to watch our defense as a whole to come along. We always knew that Caden Curry and Austin Booker were going to be great. Owen Green's learned how to play the zero technique and one technique. He gives us a little bit of that weight and size to anchor the defense there. So that's been awesome, but it was been expected. We expected that out of them. I think our kicking game has been sound. I think Austin Watson as a place kicker has been magnificent again, and trick kicking and kicking off and doing all those kinds of things. Taven Jackson as a punter is a lethal weapon. People have to prepare for that. You never know when the kid may take off with one, so that's a lot of fun to have a quarterback back there. But, again, I think a number one thing is Connor Delp. I think Connor Delp has surprised me as to being the total athlete that he is this year. He's really made the horizontal game come to be respected. If you give him the ball on the jet, he may take it all the way around the edge, or he may plant his foot and go back up the middle. So I'm just real not surprised, really pleased with what he's done. Mason Long and Harrison Stomps do a great job at possession. They've had some big possession catches. So just overall, our offensive lines got better. We got great size. Still got to get a little bit more physical. I'm never going to be satisfied with that. So don't ask me that again. But I'm real proud of those guys as they go across the line. Sturm, Weesey, Cox, Carter DeGraff, and Big Sam Burris. I'm just real proud of them. I just hope we can keep going. Dan Weems at the halfback, he's given us that 1 and 2, that what we call a thunder and lightning approach that we talked about when we got in that new deuce package. But it's the guys coming in and helping him, the Stan Balls and the Lucas Hoffmans and such that have really helped the team as well.
Speaking of surprises, a lot of people came in last week. We haven't talked about last week yet, but, number 3 North Central Panthers come in. I don't know if people were surprised we won the game, but I do think they were a bit shocked at the score. Your thoughts about that game briefly?
Yeah, I mean, I've turned the page so much. It was a nightmare going into that game. I mean, those guys did a lot of things offensively and a lot of things defensively, and I don't know what happened. I do know that when we get out here on this field, these kids turn in. Our opponents have no face. The kids turn into different people, and we ate them. And we had good speed. They have good speed, but our speed was more physical. And, again, we turned the field upside down on them and made them play uphill the whole first half, and we took advantage of big things. Remember, we got 2 touchdowns called back. Think about that. So just completely – and a running clock at the end of the game there, that second half that hurts us. We can't get young kids in like we want, but obviously we were very, very pleased with that North Central game. They were a good team. This is a good team. Lawrence Central is a very good football team. They've played good people. So, you got to take that into consideration as well.
This is the Heidelberger Allstate Insurance pregame show. And, Coach, you've had 5-0, 5 games, 4 of them running clocks. The one that wasn't was a 20-0 victory. Things are rolling. We wish you luck in continuing the success. It's homecoming. It's not going to be the same, but enjoy this evening.
Hey, we will. It's always fun to be out here. We'll miss I'll miss the floats that make fun of my fat belly. Usually the seniors put together a float like that. I'll miss that for the kids. And just I'm a very traditional guy, and I like all the toppings that go into football season. And this has been tough for everybody. But you know what? All I can think of is let's just think down the road and what Glory Land is going to look like when we get to Lucas Oil. We can have all the celebrations we want. Homecoming is great, but state championship is even better. But I hope everybody that can and will come to the game tonight and support our kids. We appreciate you out there having to go through all the red tape you have to get into the game. But do come and do cheer on the Trojans. Go Trojans.